Welcome to the Watering Hole. We're sitting down today with Mr. Drayton Farley.
Thanks for having me.
We're over here at Kane's Ballroom. You said you've been to Kane's before, so what's it like to come back?
It's awesome, man. It's a pretty legendary spot, so anytime you can play is a good time, you know. I've never headlined it, but I've gotten to open a show. I feel like I've opened twice, but I don't remember. I just remember, I believe Paul Cawthon's the only one I can actually recall.
Yeah.
But maybe 49, I don't know. I've definitely, for whatever reason, been in this green room more than once before. So
Yeah. I think it's cool how they have a green room for both the artists and the like the main
yeah,
and the open.
absolutely, yeah.
Yeah. It's and the main green room is huge, so I guess you kind of got the short end of the stick if you think about it, but
I mean, logistically, it makes perfect sense.
I just thought of a brand new segment that I think is going to be a huge hit here. Rate that green room.
Oh, dude,
Oh,
you
wow.
could call me back when that starts because I got a lot of opinions on green rooms.
Well, it starts right now.
It starts right
You're
now.
in luck.
So,
what
like-
would you rate this green room? I guess okay. You can help us determine the criteria that we need to follow.
yeah,
too.
that's perfect.
What makes a good green room in your opinion?
like access to a bathroom without having to leave like like a private area is like rule one.
Okay.
You know, if there's a shower or laundry involved, that's a huge plus. A working refrigerator is great. Basically like pretty standard stuff, but like you'd be surprised the green rooms that don't have the standard stuff. But like if everything's considered and we're just assuming that everything that you would expect to be in a green room is already there, every green room should have, that most do not have, are like 3 to 5 like guitar hangers on the wall.
Oh,
You know,
yeah.
Because like, you know, when you're, a lot of the green room situations, they can be small. Every one of them is different, but it depends on the kind of venue, like the arena stuff. Like we've opened shows at, they're all like locker rooms, you know, for like sporting events and stuff.
Yeah.
So like those are honestly the worst. They're the worst green rooms ever because there's just like usually like a broken rolling computer chair, like 2 metal folding chairs, and then like a fold out table, and then like 1 random couch, but you have like 9 people with you,
Yeah.
you know. There's like no refrigerator or anything in there. But one of the things that I guess I always tell my guys, like I always complain about, I'm like, dude, I'm telling you, man, like if there was just a guitar hanger in the room, because like you want to have a guitar most times in the green room area. Often they don't have anywhere to put it. There's not an extra seat for an instrument to sit in, you know. So I'll sometimes, if the garbage can, like the big wide ones like that one, aren't full of garbage, I'll just set my guitar down in the garbage can or something like that. But if you could hang it on the wall so that anytime you wanted it, it was there.
What if you had like a mobile like guitar hanger, like something that you could just like, I don't know, somehow you could like hang it on the wall without like drilling it or using any kind of like command?
Yeah, I mean, at some point in the career, you will get that. They call them vaults. It's like a guitar vault.
Yeah.
So it's just like a big road case you'd roll in with all your guitars sitting in it. But if you don't have that, and you're just at the mercy of like a tiny little green room or whatever, you know, you got to like, you want to tune up, because we like to walk on stage with our instruments in our hands, you know?
Yeah.
So it's nice to be able to like tune up in the green room and or mess around with that new part or whatever, you know?
Yeah.
So with all that being said, what would you rate this green room?
I mean, this one is a unique one just because of the venue that it is attached to. You know, you can't go bad talking Kane's Ballroom. So this is a 10.
Ah, nice.
Oh, wow.
But it's also just a 10 anyway. If it wasn't Kane's, it would still be, I mean, it's a small room, obviously, but like there's 2 nice couches, there's a refrigerator, there's a sink, there's a bathroom right there. There's an immediate exit door to the loading area outside. Like, it's perfect.
Do you like to have like activities like in the main green room? There's like a couple TVs. I think there's like a PlayStation in there too. Maybe.
Ping pong table.
Yeah, those
pool
are
table.
always a plus. But also, like, in just my experience, oftentimes when a green room does have those cool things, like you end up just being like, oh, that's sick, we have that, and then don't even
Never
use
use
it, you know. So
We could play ping pong right now, but
yeah, and it helps to know that you could a
Yeah.
lot, you know.
Yeah. You're like, you know what? Next time.
Yeah.
There's one, and I feel like at least one person in the band has always used it whenever we've seen it. Is a golf simulator. Grady's in Yukon. They have a golf simulator and a record store that's connected to their green room.
That's cool.
That the artists can like go and look at and use at any time when they're playing.
Yeah, that's cool.
So I've always seen at least one person go in there and at least hit one golf ball.
Yeah.
They might not be playing a whole. Like,
I mean, if there were one available, I would do it.
yeah.
You know, but I would never walk in a green room and be like, no golf simulator. Are you kidding me? Are you serious right now?
Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Why is there not a golf simulator?
Usually we walk in and we're like, dude, where's the case of water we asked for?
Okay, what's on your rider that you have?
Like typically,
Yeah, typically.
for the last like couple years now, I've been like touring with the band, so like the rider's a little more like the rider with this, like we're here at Canes.
Yeah.
You know, it's literally just me and him here, solo, so it's super simple. There's like literally not one where it's like waters, some beers, you know, pretty easy. But normally like we have there's like a bottle of whiskey, a bottle of tequila, like a pack or case of beer, case of water, hummus, pita chips, Red Bulls or like the sugar-free Monsters, some form of coffee, whether it's like a coffee maker, old school, or like a lot of times like what I've been seeing is they read coffee, so they just buy like like the bottles of Starbucks coffee, you know.
Yeah.
Which is fine, but like whatever. I think I still have the Hershey's chocolate bars with almonds on mine.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and
solid
then,
pick.
yeah, and then either like a 12-pack or 6-pack of like Coca-Cola or Sprite,
Yeah.
mainly to mix with the alcohol, and then soda water. And I really don't know if this is a part of the rider, like officially, because sometimes it's there, sometimes it's not. But sometimes like it doesn't matter what you put on your rider, you're not going to get what you're asking for. I know we'll have like veggie trays.
Oh, yeah.
And then I feel like we were supposed to have this added, but I've only seen it a few times. Like just a loaf of sandwich bread and like sliced cheese and like deli meat,
Yeah.
which is so sick. And honestly, all you really need on your rider is like a loaf of bread, cheese, meat, and waters.
Yeah.
And that's it, really. Nothing else. Nothing crazy. I mean, it's kind of a lot, but like the venues are not stupid, you know. So like they read like a big list, and then they like read how many people are in the crew, and they like purchase usually these things like accordingly as far as quantity goes.
Yeah.
You're not just walking in every night with like a massive case of beer and a huge like giant bottle of liquor, and so it's pretty dialed back.
Yeah.
I figured venues would be pretty strict about like getting what was requested, like follow that list pretty tight.
Yeah, I mean, 9 times out of 10 they are. Like really, usually you get, if you ask for it, you get it. Typically on the rider situation, but sometimes no. Sometimes they're just like, sorry, didn't have it.
No,
couldn't
no,
get it.
no bowl of only green M&M.
No, there's nothing. No, we're not divas out here. No, I don't need any like exactly 5.5 foot tall like green leafy plants or anything.
So, tell us about Drayton Farley. Like, what's some of your like inspirations? How'd you get into playing music?
I'm from Alabama. I was born in Bessemer, Alabama. Grew up in Woodstock, Alabama, which is like in the Birmingham area. And no one in my like immediate family, like my siblings, mom and dad, no one played instruments or anything. So I didn't grow up around or in a household where there were musicians. My family went to church, but like I'm the youngest of 5, so by the time I kind of came along, like we didn't really go to church, so I didn't like grow up in choir or doing any of that. Music for me was just being the youngest of 5. Like I was born in '95 too, so I got to, listen to all the stuff my older siblings were listening to, and so They just naturally, I was introduced to like whatever they were listening to, and so, which like notably, my older brother had like it was like Crossfade, Nickelback, like System of a Down,
Yeah.
that kind of stuff, and then my mom would always have like whatever the most popular country FM radio station was playing, like on the way to school and stuff. So I definitely listened to like the mainstream country stuff that was happening, and then knew some of the older like Johnny Cash stuff, and then Dad, like he had a radio in his shop that was usually playing like some Pink Floyd or something. So, and then naturally, like, well, my one of my older sisters had a boyfriend in high school, and he listened to like really heavy stuff, like hardcore and like metalcore music, and so just her dating him and me being around them, like I was introduced to that, fell in love with it, and so when I picked a guitar up, I kind of like went really quickly into like playing like the metal stuff, like the really heavy stuff, like breakdowns and stuff like that, and then I guess sometime around high school, like I really picked the acoustic back up and started playing it, and then discovered kind of like the country music that wasn't on the radio, like 2012-ish era. So like your Tyler Childers, Jason Isbell, Sturgill Simpson, John Moreland, and then the older guys that I was previously unaware of, like John Bryan and some of the older just singer-songwriter guys, And then when I discovered that, I fell in love with it and started playing it and writing, stuff. Those are kind of the people I named were like earliest, biggest influences and inspirations.
Yeah.
So then I just started like writing my own stuff and playing.
Wow.
That's kind of it.
Wow.
It was there somebody that like the first memory of music that you had, like a song or someone, like an image of someone playing a guitar or something like that? I mean, was there something like, what's your earliest musical memory?
It's really tough. Like, I'm sure I'm wrong, like whatever I'm about to say. It's like I don't. My memory is also just shot. Like I'm the worst at remembering things. Man, I don't know, to be honest. Probably something like maybe Johnny Cash, something like that. I don't know. I mean, I remember being a kid and like there, like on the weekends or Sundays or whatever, whenever like mom's cleaning the house, like she'd have like CMT on, And this was at a time too where like they still would play some of the older stuff. I don't know what they play now. I don't mean to like trash CMT. I really have no idea what they play on there. But at this point in time, like they would do like the top 40 countdown, and there it was a lot of like Tim McGraw stuff happening, but Toby Keith. But then they still played like, I remember the Hurt Johnny Cash music video, kind of being like a stick out visual memory that I have.
Yeah.
So maybe that, I don't know. I'm sure there were things before that, but I would definitely safely bet on that being one of my earliest recollections of like noticing music and remembering it like forever, I guess.
I've heard you ask this question, but I've never heard your answer to the question. What's like one of your earliest memories?
It's a tough question when you're asked the question.
Yeah,
it's hard, man. Like there's so many musical memories. I couldn't really tell you what the first one was.
This is one of those things too where it's like I have seen pictures of it, so am I really remembering it, or am I putting myself there from the pictures? But this particular picture is like a guitar case like that, and my grandpa was playing the guitar, and I was sitting in the case.
Oh, that's cool.
So I was like really small.
Yeah.
But that probably that.
You know what? Now that you said that, there's a picture of me when I was like 5, maybe, and like a bunch of cousins around. It was like I think it was a birthday party, maybe my birthday party. I don't know, because I honestly don't remember this, but I've pieced it together just by seeing the photo. But it's me like sitting on the couch in our living room, and I have like a little like Walmart guitar in my hand, and it's actually an image that I put in the like the sleeve of the vinyl of my album Heart of Life. That picture's in there, so it's not really a memory though because I don't actually remember it happening. You know, but I definitely have a photo of me holding a guitar like 5.
Wow.
Yeah, which is crazy because I didn't pick a guitar up really until like 12. You know? So
do you have any like? I'm sure you have some cool guitars, but is there one in particular that's like your baby, like you protect it at all costs?
Man, I've gone through so many different relationships with guitars over the years. As of right now, the guitars that I have are really all pretty new. And I've always been bad about like getting rid of stuff too. Like I try not to be too sentimental about things. You know, like just let things just be things and not like obsess over material stuff. So I do have, it's not at my house, it's at my parents' house. It's pretty much the guitar I learned like everything on. It's an Alvarez, like RD10. It's like $100 guitar. But it's hanging up at my mom and dad's house. So that would probably, it's probably like the special one if we're talking like historical significance or meaning. But it's other than that, the other guitars that I have are all guitars that I've acquired in the last like 3 years, probably. And they're pretty nice. Like I'm super proud to have them, but like I don't really have. They didn't like. I don't have like my granddad's old, you know, anything. So I'd say that Alvarez, that little $100 Alvarez RD10 acoustic, which isn't really a nice guitar, but like it's pretty good.
Yeah.
It was good enough that I played it for years and taught myself how to play guitar on it, you know?
Yeah. That's cool.
Yeah.
We were talking a little bit before the podcast also, and I got to throw this in there real quick. Jagger and I are both wearing the Dwight shirts.
Yeah.
So you've been on tour with Dwight a few times, and you just want to very quickly, just so I can say we touched on it.
Yeah.
Run us through what that was like, what that experience was like for you.
Yeah, man. I mean, I got the offer to go on the road with Dwight and the Mavericks, and which was just cool, you know. I was like, well, all right, that's gonna happen. Then getting there, I'm pretty good, and like me and my guys are pretty good about just like doing our jobs, making sure that like we're being professionals, and especially if you're support, like, dude, you just do the job, create no problems, and leave with everyone that you just met going like, those guys aren't idiots. Like they know what they're doing. They're pros, you know? So, first few shows was a lot of just like minding your own, making sure you're doing what you're supposed to do. Start playing when you're supposed to start playing, and then be done. Like don't play a minute over your set. If anything, play 2 minutes under your set. They will actually probably rather you play 5 minutes under the time you're supposed to play, but you don't play over, you know? So, like, it was a lot of that, just making sure that we made a good first impression. And then a couple shows into the tour, I guess, his TM told me he wanted to meet, and so I ended up getting to go on the bus with him, and it was just me and him, like the little, like, kitchenette, dinette area of the bus, and we got to just sit down and talk, and for a little over an hour.
A crazy, sorry to interrupt, but crazy question here. But I'm picturing Dwight sitting with his back away from the door. Like he's sitting against this far side if you walked on the bus here and you're sitting on this side. Just so I can paint this picture properly.
So if you walked onto the bus and took a left to get on the bus, Dwight is facing the door of the bus, so he can see anyone that walks in or out. And then I am, so he's like at the table, right? I'm him. The door is there, and then like on the little bench, couch seating area here, I'm sitting there. That's kind of how it was.
Okay. Picture's painted now.
Yeah. I mean, it was cool, man. I got to hang out with Dwight Yoakam. It was one of those kind of moments where you're like, I have these a lot. It's like imposter syndrome. Like, I don't know why I'm here right now, you know? I do remember he like was, before we even started talking, and I just got on there, he was like starting to put like a football game or something on. He was asking me like about the game, and I was like, man, I'm going to just be so upfront with you right now. I don't know anything about sports. And he was like, I got you. I was like, yeah, not even about to like try to like bullshit
crazy.
you. Yeah, I'm not gonna try to pretend like I'm in this conversation, you know.
Yeah.
But no, man, he was super nice to me, and it was cool just getting to hang out and talk. We talked about my career and like how I got started. He told me about his career and how he got started with music and all the kind of way quickly, you know, all the way up to like present day. And then it's like, who, you know, do you have a wife? You got kids and stuff. So like me and him were swapping our phones back and forth, showing each other like pictures of our families and stuff. And I thanked him for, you know, letting me be a part of the tour. And this is like, I think this is like the third night or fourth night of the tour. But yeah, that was cool, man. And then played the rest of the run, and then he ended up offering me like some more shows, just like direct supporting him, and so that was cool. And then we finished out last year playing shows with him, and then this year he actually offered me a pretty nice number of shows, but like logistically I couldn't make it all happen, so I think we're doing like 6 or something more with him this year. Wish I could have done the other ones, but it was just scheduling and stuff, you know. I couldn't make it all. It's always nice, like, if you're gonna support an artist, especially like kind of like more of like a legacy act like that, if you can just do the whole thing, you know, it makes it easier for them, and they're more likely to actually let you do it. Because it sucks whenever you have to, you know, this one person's opening these 2 shows, and then
right,
you know, there's like 15 openers on one tour. It's like, well, if you can find the band that you want that can do all of it, we're going to go with that guy.
Yeah.
You know, so
we've had several people on that have interacted with Dwight or opened for him. But this is the coolest story by far. So
cool, man.
You win the award for the coolest Dwight Yoakam story,
Yeah.
which is a very big deal to me. So you should feel
Dude, it is. I mean, it is a big deal. It's, you know, like I have to remind myself of these things sometimes, because I'm so like anything cool like that, you know, like opportunities that I get, like I'm usually trying to like make sure I'm like in the room, or like not letting it overwhelm me, or basically it's like, I really don't know how to explain it, but I try my best to like not
being very present.
Yeah, like be present, but also don't let this like big opportunity be so big that like you're freaking out about it.
Yeah.
So like I tend to like muddy it all down and don't let myself like get too excited, to a fault though, to where like I'll even end up not, I'm like, oh, I should be super excited right now, but like I've tried to like play it cool and make sure I'm being professional and make sure I'm
Is that why you've been pretty calm today with us here, or?
Yeah, man, I was I was nervous. no but I guess that's the way to put it. I don't know. It's like, but like I said, like you can do that to a fault, to where you're not really taking in the moment or realizing or celebrating, because you should celebrate a lot of these things, you know. You can take away from the moment if you're not careful for yourself.
Yeah.
There's been a lot of moments that I regret, you know, not really embracing and like taking in as they're happening.
Yeah.
That I don't know why I didn't. I guess it was either nerves or some like weird defense mechanism I built up to not be anxious. It's like, oh, well, it's just Dwight Yoakam's tour, you know. It's just whatever, you know. So, but yeah, man, he's been really nice to me, which is cool.
Yeah,
awesome.
That's awesome.
It's been cool getting to do the shows. His crew's super nice. They've treated me and all of my guys real good. So yeah,
that's really cool. Earlier you mentioned your vinyls, and we walked out there earlier and we were admiring. We both like buying vinyls. We were admiring your colored vinyls you had. I really liked the orange, and you had like one that was like clear, green
a little bit.
Yeah, they call that one Coke bottle clear.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's honestly like my favorite vinyl I've ever seen.
Are you a big vinyl collector?
Dude, I have a collection of vinyl. Before I had like my own vinyl, I didn't collect it at all.
Yeah.
And then like all of a sudden, I would just be on the road with friends or whatever, and I'd just like grab one of their vinyl, get them to sign it. It's like I have a collection, but it's mostly just we don't really listen to them. Like we have a couple record players in the house. Like we don't ever put them on. So we just have like some cabinets full of vinyls, and most of them, like I said, are like people I've toured with or people I've met, you know, other artists that I've been able to like let them sign it. So I have like a pretty cool collection. I'll probably just like hold on to it and keep doing that until I'm like retiring, and then I'll like give it to my kids one day and they can put it on eBay or something. I don't know.
Do you keep your own vinyl stock too in your house?
Mm-hmm.
Do you have one of each of your own? Do you sign them and then give them to yourself? Like
I have a lot. Yeah, every Friday I'll
every Friday. It's Vinyl Friday.
every Thursday I'll ship one to my house, and then on Friday I'll be like, "Oh my God, it's here!" No. I do have a lot of vinyl in my house. That's mine for like the merch company that we use to like do our web store and all that. They have like a warehouse that they keep merch in, but at home I also have like a couple boxes of all of my records, and I'll give them like to friends and stuff, here and there. But also because I'm like with the clear one you were talking about, it's 20 on high. That's like the first pressing, one of the first colors. The first time it was ever pressed, we did like a certain amount of black ones, and then like we had a gold one and then that green clear one, and we only had 500 gold ones made and 500 clear ones made. So like I think I kept back like 10 gold for myself and 10 clear for myself, just to have,
Yeah. And
too, like I'll give them away every now and then if I hear like if there's like a charity thing happening or whatever, like I can sign something. Well, I have like 10 of these that sold out 2 years ago and they're never going to be made again, so I can sign it and like give it to this raffle or whatever.
Yeah, that
can help out.
Yeah. Do you know how they make the clear or the colored vinyls? Have you seen videos on it?
I don't know exactly how they do it, but I've seen videos of it.
It's really cool because they get like the dye.
It's like a cake.
Yeah, and then they plop it on there, and then they have the press that comes down.
Yeah, it's cool, man.
How does it make music?
Dude, I still believe it's all of this microphone, these cameras, all of it's black magic.
It's a hoax, all of it.
A bunch of electrons. That's all I know.
Yeah, it's got something to do with electricity and black magic, I think.
Yeah.
I don't know. Couldn't tell you, man. It's weird. It's cool though.
Speaking of black magic, another segment we have is a Taco Bell segment.
Oh yeah.
So what is your go-to Taco Bell order when you?
What a segue.
I love Taco Bell, and I have a bad relationship with it in the way that like I always order the thing that I regret ordering.
I think that's everything on Taco Bell's menu.
Yeah, like I'm also bad at ordering food in general, so like I'll order a bunch every time, and then I'll eat whatever I'm going for at first, and then get full immediately, and I still have like $10, $15 left of food from.
So you have one taco from Taco Bell.
Yeah, exactly. No, like I've realized now though that like my absolute cannot make a mistake order from Taco Bell is like meat and cheese only soft tacos, and like hot sauce. It's really hard to beat it. Because you can eat like 12 of them, and you'll be just as happy. But and I'm not like a picky eater. Like I'll eat everything. I eat tomatoes and like lettuce and all that, sour cream, stuff that like a lot of people ask to remove. I'll eat it. But what I've realized is I'll order, some kind of like specialty item. Order like 2 of those and like 3 Doritos Locos Tacos and a large Baja Blast, and then I'm like, oh, they have the fries still too. And then you end up with like 15 things, and you're like, you're an idiot, because like this stuff's gonna suck tomorrow, and you're not gonna eat it tomorrow. So yeah, I think to play it safe, man, just some meat and cheese only soft tacos.
Yeah,
they heat up in the microwave pretty good too. So
really,
yeah.
They had these like dippers a while back. I think there was really like only like a month or maybe like a couple of weeks. They were really good though. The little burrito things.
Dude, they always have something, and like Taco Bell's pretty notorious for like breaking out some groundbreaking item, and then everyone loses their mind over it, and they're like, this is the best thing that's ever happened, and then like 2 weeks later they're like, well, that's gone. Literally those French fries. I ordered Taco Bell like 2 or 3 days ago, and I tried to get an order the fries with the cheese, and they were like, yeah, we've discontinued that. I was like, dude,
I feel like that's almost like a location thing, because every time I've been to one like around
it
here,
has to be.
They have them, and then every once in a while I'll be like, oh, we're out of stock right now.
Well, the one that I'm talking about specifically is like right beside my house, so could be regional or.
I was thinking I thought they were made permanent.
Yeah,
they might be. I don't know. Maybe they were just out. I don't know. The dude told me they were. It was not on the menu.
I get all of my good information from people that work at Taco Bell.
Yeah, dude.
100%. They know everything.
They know they're the smartest people you'll meet.
Yeah, that's what I've heard.
Yeah, 100%.
So you said you used to work when we were talking before. You used to work like with a railroad company?
Yeah, so I was like pretty much right out of high school. I worked there for like 4 years, so like 18 to like 22. But I was like worked for a contracting company that exclusively worked for Norfolk Southern Railroad. So I wasn't a Norfolk Southern employee, but the company I worked for exclusively worked for Norfolk Southern. So like I had like my work, like company ID was like a Norfolk Southern ID.
Yeah.
And we did like track maintenance. So like we would like fix broken switches, like cut railroad switches out and replace them, and that was mainly what we did, honestly. But then there were other tedious things we did, like replacing cross ties and stuff like that. And then we also worked derailment cleanups. So like if anything train derailment, like we'd go out there. We had like front end loaders and big cranes we used, and like track hose, excavators, and a couple backhoes, and ran dump trucks. So like it was just a bunch of heavy equipment, really.
Yeah.
And like hooking up chains and cables all the time.
Any crazy like stuff that derailed that you had to clean up?
A lot.
Everything.
Yeah, like, well, the one thing is like there are absolutely catastrophic derailments that happen, and I've worked a few of them. They were just like 20 cars off the tracks, all on their sides, like just massive wreck. But mostly like derailments happen a lot in the yards. And a derailment is quite literally when that rail wheel leaves that rail. Sometimes it literally just slips off. Like nothing gets destroyed.
Yeah.
You just have to get a piece of equipment, to pick it back up and set it back on, and everything's good. But there were a couple long derailments. And the thing about it too, like with our company at least, is like once you were on site at a derailment, like you couldn't leave until trains were rolling again. So like there were multiple like 36-hour derailment cleanups that we did.
This might be a dumb question, but does a train just sit on the track?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, all that stuff just sets on the wheels have like a flange on them, and then so like the rail has like the base, and then the ball of the rail is the top of the rail, and the web is like the center piece. So like this is the bottom centerpiece, and like the ball. So like the flange of the rail wheel sets on top of the ball, and that's it. That's all that's holding it there. Yeah, they're not like connected or anything. Yeah. It's honestly the sketchiest thing ever.
No wonder you had to clean up so many derailments.
But I mean, it all weighs so much that like gravity is how this works. You know what I mean? It keeps it on the track.
Yeah.
So
whenever you sit down to write a song, do you have a place you go? Do you have a headspace? Like, or do you intentionally sit down to write a song, or do you just kind of wait till it comes to you?
Dude, I don't have a process. It's like it's entirely different every time. Sometimes I'm driving down the road to the grocery store and have a line and come up in my head and a melody, and I'm like, damn, that's something. Put it in a voice memo, and then when I get home, try to work it out. Sometimes I start with just something on the guitar. Sometimes I just have a melody. Sometimes it's driving down the road. Sometimes it's 3 o'clock in the morning laying in bed when everyone's asleep already. Every single time it's something entirely different. I haven't quite figured out what my process is, so it's kind of just shotgun blast,
Yeah.
Just shooting in the dark every time. It might work out, it might not.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Have you ever written a song about trains?
Yeah, I have a lot about trains. Yeah, I have a song called Trains.
What about an album just all trains?
Nah, it didn't mean that much to me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'll never do that.
I can smell your Cajun food you got over there.
Oh, is it here?
The Cajun feast has arrived.
Nice.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of early songs that I mentioned, railroad stuff and trains, and just because like I try to write like truth, so just like a lot of my music is about jobs I've worked before. A lot of the early stuff when I like first got out of the railroad job, I went and worked in a factory for a few more years after that before I really started to do music, full time. And so a lot of the first things I ever did were like blue collar,
Wait, you have a
subject.
song called Blue.
Yeah. Wait, yeah. You have a song called Cajun Food. Yeah. No. But yeah, pretty much, really.
Yeah.
Like, it's that simple, you know. Yeah, I've written multiple songs about trains. So the one song that I have that's called Trains is literally like a song about how much I hate trains.
Man, this Cajun food's making me hungry.
Do you have anything coming up in the next, let's say, few months, new music-wise, tour dates, stuff like that you want people to know about?
Yeah, man. As of right now, I have like 3 acoustic singles that I've recorded, just like self-recorded, that I'm going to be releasing over the next month and a half. Just put out 2 acoustic singles. These aren't a part of an album or an EP or nothing. They're just songs.
Mm-hmm.
And then still not sure when or how yet. But I also have a whole brand new full-length record that I finished last year in April. So, like, it's just been in my pocket. And I haven't announced it, like, formally. I've mentioned it here and there over the last year or so, but, like, it's done. It's mastered. It's ready to roll.
Well, just so you know, the title of this episode now is going to be Drayton Farley announces new record.
yeah, that's fine.
You have now.
Yeah, it's fine. No, really, if you want.
And it's called Trains and Cajun Food.
Yeah, eating Cajun food on a train. Yeah, blue collar. No, so there's a new record, man. It's I'm super excited for it. It's a little different than anything I've ever done. My band is the band on it. I'm excited for it, man. The reason I'm not releasing it yet is just because I'm trying to figure out the angle I want to do it. You know, I don't know if I have my own record label, but there's been a whole lot of conversations with major labels, which is cool with me, you know. So we're just kind of filling everything out to see where it goes.
Yeah.
If I do the major label thing, it won't be entirely me like selling out or signing 100% to a label.
Mm-hmm.
It'll more than likely be like released via like my label, Hargrove Records, like with exclusive licensing to the major label.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so all of that is why I haven't really put it out
Mm-hmm.
yet. So I'm just kind of waiting around to see how things pan out, and I'm just in a place too where like I'm not chomping at the bit or like in a dire situation. I just have to release music, you know.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like if I don't release it for 2 more years, that'll be fine too.
Mm-hmm.
I obviously want to, but like I'm just not in the shoes where I just have like any real need to just like throw it out.
Yeah.
You
Right.
know? So I just want to take my time with it, make the right or the best choice that I can make.
Yeah.
And in the meantime too, like there's probably gonna be another record. So
Yeah.
you know, by the time this one does come out, like I'm probably gonna be in the studio making the next one. So it's
Mm-hmm.
like, you know, who knows? But which is kind of why I'm like just throwing like songs out here and there. I'm like, oh, hit new single, you know,
Mm-hmm.
just to keep things moving a little bit.
Yeah.
But yeah, so expect that, I guess. Could be this year, probably will be this year, the new album. Probably more closer to the fall. So I don't have an album name yet or any of that. There's no tour with it yet. So we'll see.
You know,
Maybe.
Don't do it.
I've heard that albums are just better in the fall, you know?
I've heard a lot about everything.
You're probably so confused, right? We have an inside joke because we're big Stillwoods fans.
Yeah.
And they have a song called "Better in the Fall."
Oh, yeah.
And so that's what that is.
Yeah, no, you're good. Dude, maybe. I mean, yeah, it's like, I don't know. Like, we live in a different time now with music.
Yeah.
So something that I've learned is like, because I like to make records. I believe in records, and I like to listen to records. We live in 2025 where like people don't really give a shit about records. People care about like what the new single is or what the big song is, or you know. So I do know 100% because I've done it this way this year. In like January, I put out a live acoustic album. I just released it, the whole album, like no singles, and then like 3 weeks later, I released just a single. 3 weeks after that, I released another single, and the thing about it, man, is like most people consume music off of streaming services now, and vinyl's huge, obviously, but most people don't have vinyl like record players in their cars, so they listen to Spotify.
Speak for yourself.
Yeah, speak for yourself. You don't know what I got. Yeah, but so like if you release an album, or any music, you really have like that week, the following 7 days before everyone else is releasing music the next Friday. So like you kind of have like that week to like get the attention to it, and like if it gets playlisted by Spotify or Apple or any of the editorial playlists, you can pitch songs to those platforms, to the streaming services. But with an album, like if I release an album, I can pitch one song from that album to them for them to potentially place it on like an editorial playlist. So what I'm saying is like a single has so much more attention and is given so much more love than an album is. Because if an album's 36 songs or 8, doesn't matter. Like there's probably going to be one song that's going to get the attention for the thing. So like you'd be better off just releasing a whole bunch of singles. So I don't know how I'm going to do it yet, but I've been toying with the idea of like when I do this next record, I want to probably make the vinyl like available when I announce it. So like so the real fans and the people that really appreciate records, they'll buy it now. But announce the record, release one song to the internet, to the streaming, and then the next Friday and the next song, and then do that for 10 Fridays until everything's out. You know what I mean? But like the real fans and people that actually appreciate a record, they'll just buy it the day you announce it. But when you do that, you're allowing all 10 tracks of this album to be considered for playlists and to have their own like week of spotlight, so they can reach as many people. So that live and acoustic album I put out, I don't know how many streams it has now, but like it was setting at like total, and it's 12 songs. So like those 12 songs total combined had generated like 70,000 streams at the time that 2 weeks after the single I put out after that album. That single by itself had generated like 140,000 streams. So like this one song, just because it was a single, made it onto these playlists and stuff. Like it got double the amount of attention and streams as an entire 12-song album. So it's weird.
Yeah.
I also saw John Mayer do a podcast where he was talking about this, and he was like, I don't know if I should put an album out or just a bunch of singles, and he was like, probably a bunch of singles, to be honest.
Yeah.
So I was like, well, if that's what John Mayer's going to do, I might do that too.
Yeah,
he's put out infinitely more music than I have. So
we've talked about this a couple times on the podcast about like differences and appreciation for full-length albums. And one thing that I said, and I'll say again, like I love diving into an album and like hearing the full story, because it's like a book. You can't just read the first chapter. You want to really listen to the full story that the artist is trying to tell.
Yeah, man, those are my favorite albums. Not exactly concept albums, like, but it's like when I make an album, like I spend a lot of time deciding the flow. Like I want it to be a listenable. I decide the track list based on like what I think would be the best experience if someone sat down by themselves with 100% of their attention on this record and they hit track 1 and listened all the way through. That's how I decide to list the songs, so, and I know that I'm a big music guy, so like I don't think the average like music consumer does listen to that or even gives a shit at all about that. But that's how I want to make my albums. And I still want to make and record records to make records.
Yeah.
I don't want to get to the point where I'm just like trying to make singles that are going to like do good,
Yeah.
But like with what I was talking about, releasing the record up front on vinyl day one, and then slowly like letting the album roll out a song at a time on streaming services is potentially a way that I can maintain like the heart of making records and then also capitalize just on like the modern way people listen to music.
Yeah.
So I don't know. There's probably not a right or wrong answer, but I'm the same way, man. I like to put an album on and let it flow.
Yeah.
From top to bottom.
100%.
Is there somebody out there right now that you're listening to that you feel like more people should be paying attention to?
Yeah, man. A lot of people. Like John R. Miller, we were talking about. Like to me, he's a legend.
That's the first song we're gonna play when we pull out of here.
Please, please. John R. Miller is incredible, man. Jonathan Payton. Y'all know Jonathan?
No.
Dude, Jonathan and his wife Abigail. They're. I think the music's released like under Jonathan, but it's like both of them. Absolutely incredible, dude. Amazing. I know so many, dude. It's hard to just spitball out. I think that's another thing that kind of sucks with, like, John R. Miller has literally been, like, before anyone on planet Earth knew Tyler Childers, like, John R. was, like, an influence, an inspiration to Tyler. And Tyler has absolutely done, you can go back through, like, his tour history, man. He's, like, done everything he can to try to, like, promote John R. Miller. But then people just get stuck. Like, people, and I've had the experience as, like, openers, you know. It's like you open for a band and, like, no one gives a shit at all. And then they're there for the headliner. So, but that's the average music consumer. Like, there are consumers and then there are, like, music fans.
Yeah.
And, like, so I don't know. But as far as artists that a lot of people probably don't know, hell, let me just pull my phone up. John R. Miller is a huge one. Jonathan Payton. Leon Meitzen. Adeem the artist. Abe Partridge. Let's see. Britt Taylor is great. She opened a bunch of shows up for us over the last few years. Cole Chaney. Y'all know Cole?
Yeah.
Dude, Cole is a killer. Dalton Mills is a great songwriter. Do y'all know Ian No?
I do not know.
Ian No is incredible, dude. And a lot of this too is like what we were talking about, like your perspective of artists. Because I know, like, some people, there's a lot of people that know Ian No, but there's still so many people that don't.
Yeah.
Right.
At all. Dude, honestly, like, most of the ones that I know are people from, like, Southeast kind of, but people are now discovering Nolan Taylor. Y'all know Nolan?
I heard of him, yeah.
Dude, Nolan's incredible. Hell, I don't know, man. The list.
I mean, that's a pretty good list right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it would just go to Spotify and go to any one of those artists, and then go to their similar artists and then look at all of them.
Yeah.
All of them are people that people should be listening to. You know. Yeah, I guess that's a good way to put it. It's a good start.
So our podcast is based out of Stillwater, and obviously a big deal in Stillwater right now is Wyatt Flores, or big deal everywhere.
Yeah.
Out of Stillwater. So we talked about this off podcast too. Everything's running together here for me. And on, but run us through kind of your interaction with Wyatt and how you guys met and what that's been like.
Yeah, I mean, I know we met in person for the first time. It was either 21 or 22. I think it was 22. I played a headline show at the Basement in Nashville, and it was like a sold-out thing. It's a tiny room, so it's super crowded. So after the show, I went to the parking lot to, like, say hey to fans and stuff, and Wyatt was there as a fan, and I met him then. I had a show in Oklahoma the next weekend, and I needed an opener for it, and I think this is pretty well. Wyatt may have only had like one song out. This is very early for him. But we met, and then I invited him to open for me in Oklahoma City, and he met my agent that night, and my agent ended up signing him a little shortly after, and then just a few months after that, I think, is when Wyatt just kind of exploded on TikTok, and then just kind of, you know, the rest is kind of history. But when I met him, though, he was like kind of looking at me like I was, you know, like one of his favorite artists or whatever.
Yeah.
And I was, you know, so, which was cool, I guess, because I was still, and still am, like, we're all still so early
Mm-hmm.
in our careers, man. You look at guys like BJ
Yeah.
Barham, like, dude is a 100% certified veteran. Like, we're all just punk kids that are like just showing up, you know. And it feels like there's, even now, I know that I'm one of those like new to the scene guys to those people, but like even now I'll open Instagram and be like, who the hell is this guy? Like, where did he come from? You know?
Yeah.
It's moving fast, man. People are getting discovered. But dude, that's like how me and Wyatt met. And then it wasn't shortly after, like I said, dude, like he's far surpassed like what I had going on, and now I'll go out and open shows for Wyatt, you know. So he's a really good dude, man. We've become buds, and it's good to know him. He comes from really good people, and I've met his dad and mom like several times at shows, and he deserves it, bro. Like comes from a good family. Like even with all of the success he has, he's still super humble and kind, and you know, he doesn't think he's better than anybody else. Just good dude.
He's playing. There's a new sponsored by the Tumbleweed in Stillwater. There's a new bar called the Dirty Rooster.
Yeah.
Hopefully another sponsor soon. But Wyatt's playing their first show there tomorrow night.
Oh, cool.
So in Stillwater,
Okay.
and it's
Sweet.
sold out in like 20 minutes.
Oh,
maybe,
yeah, man.
If
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
Dude, yeah.
So
The show I was telling you about in Texas where everyone booed me when I said I was from Alabama because Texas had like just joined the SEC.
Yeah.
That was Wyatt's show. And then me and 49, like Winchester, we opened. They're also good friends of mine and Wyatt's. 49 is. But, dude, like I think that's like 5,000 tickets or whatever. And I remember, I think that night Wyatt said that was the biggest show he had done yet, as far as like a headline, you know, tickets he sold. But dude, I just remember that was crazy. I was the underbill out of all three of us that night, you know.
Wow.
And I'm like, dude, that's insane. Like, because when I met Wyatt and he opened that show for me a couple years back, it was at Pony Boy, and I swear there were less than 25 people there. And Wyatt's opening for me, you know? And now here I'm opening for him in front of 5,000 people.
That's crazy.
And it's a Wyatt show, you know.
Yeah.
Pretty sweet.
Yeah. That's
Pretty crazy.
well, I can't believe we've already been going for 52 minutes. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Time's flown by.
Before we let you go, can we grab one quick song from you?
Yeah, dude. Yeah, I don't know the mic situation, how good it'll sound.
We'll make it work.
Yeah.
All right,
Go make it work.
I'm going to take these off for a sec. Actually, I'm going to play this one tonight, and I haven't played it in a long time, so this will be my rehearsal for the show. Rolling? Good? Oh, yeah. Cool. This is, I don't remember when I put this out, but I haven't really been playing it a lot. Anytime I get back to like an acoustic solo kind of thing, I'll pull this one out, but it's called Chewing on Fire. I've been chewing on the fire, oh, and spitting out them flames. And I've been picking out the coals embedded in my veins. And I've been watering my eyes. Oh, I've let that river flow. It takes it all away, not so steady as it goes. And I've been clawing at this cage, trying to keep control. And I've been studying my age. Oh, why do I feel so old? Oh, why do I feel so old? assistance to keep me safe and sane. But there's just something in this distance that truly is just strange. And I've been going through the pages, trying to find the words or something to show me out these hazes. My vision's always blurred. So I've been clawing at this cage and trying to keep control. And I've been studying my age. Oh, why do I feel so old? Oh, why do I feel so old? Oh, why do I feel so old?
Awesome.
Yeah, there we go.
Thank you so much again for coming on. We can't thank you enough. It's been a blast. Thank you for letting us invade your space in here. And
Hey, thank y'all, man.
yeah,
Appreciate
awesome.
you
We
guys.
got to do it again sometime
Yeah,
next
we
time
will.
you're in Oklahoma. So
Yeah,
awesome.
absolutely.
Thank you.
Thank y'all, man.